Have you ever been told not to talk to strangers? Yeah, I've been told that a lot, and there was a very stupid kid around that time. I let myself wallow in the arms of a stranger. But I'll tell you the story.
It was a bright, sunny September day in the year of 1994. I was alone on the front yard of my parents' house, and I was aimlessly walking around, playing with my toys like any regular kid would do. But then there was this man who walked past my house. I watched him for a moment. He didn't have any hair, as far as I know. He wore little clothing, not being completely nude, but he walked around. He seemed like he had nowhere else to go, and he did not even know where to go. He scared me for a bit, because he made eye contact with me for quite a while. He was very pale and skinny as well. His ribs poked out through his abdomen, and I noticed the tear in his shorts. He wore flip-flops and was sickly. I wanted to go inside and tell my mum and dad about the man, but something about him just kept my feet planted in the ground. At around the third cycle of our street, he made gurgling noises. I felt bad for the man because his feet began to blister in the hot sun. He hadn't seemed tired at all from all the pacing around. I had that feeling that I didn't want to catch eye of him walking back around my way again. I was so scared. I was so scared when he returned the 8th time. He had spoken random words that made no sense to me, given that I was a young child. Once he came around at the 10th time, my mother had came out, and he was just standing there. My mother panicked. She grabbed me, and I jerked away from her arms. I did not know why, but I wanted to go with him. I heard my mother call my father. She was very hysterical. My father came rushing to me, and he pulled me into the house. I fought and struggled, and I wanted to go back out. I described everything that transpired in great detail, and my parents thought I was crazy for wanting to go out there for that man. But that was when my mother reminded me of the same safety tip. Don't talk to strangers. I didn't want to talk to him, though. I wanted to see him. I wanted to watch him walk in that ridiculous cycle again. They insisted that I should go to bed. I just was not hungry at all. I only thought of the man. I turned constantly in my bed to see him by the curtainless window. I'd often see him crawl on the floor and call my name. Fuck, he even sat in front of me and made constant eye contact for hours. Neither of us said a thing. I just watched his colourless eyes and said nothing. I swore I thought I could see his mouth move, but I was so fearless. I did not want to be distant from him. I considered him my friend. But as the days go by, I constantly see him when I go to school. He's been there outside of my classroom, making no movement. My classmates would scream and give away his location, but the more he grew attached to me, he shows up everywhere I go. There were no words shared between us. But we somehow understood each other. It is difficult to it's difficult to explain, but I just know, okay? 2 years later, one of my friends at school mysteriously vanished. He wouldn't show up for school for the next few days to come, and I worried about him. He made rude remarks of the man that stood by my side for these 2 years. But after that, he was gone. I felt that he was related to it. One night, I was sitting on my bed, not having gotten any sleep for about a few days. He appeared. My friend stood beside him. I looked at them both with wide eyes, surprised that he would actually appear with him. My school friend was similar to the man in body structure. He was just as bony and pale as him. I called his name, and he responded with a twitch. I got up and crept slowly towards him. He made another twitch as I tried to touch him. He made low growls of weariness, and the man called back in the same way. I answered them in the same manner. They both turned and vanished once more. I wanted to join him and see where they go, but I knew he didn't want me to. I wanted to join him and see where they go, but I knew that he didn't want me to. So, I just went back to bed. No one came to my room, and I never saw the man. 5 years afterwards, I'd begun to doubt that he would ever return. I constantly yelled and shouted at the sky for him to come back. He intrigued me for so long, and I needed to see him more. I was older. I always wanted to know things. He was kept in mind always, and I was never bothered by his appearance. I searched in my room and hoped that he would be there or anywhere. But I knew he wasn't going to stay anywhere in my sight. He randomly shows up. But from the rest of that year to early 2008, I haven't seen him around. But that was until last month. Then I began seeing him again. He was always asking me to join him in finding children. He was always asking me to join him in finding children. They began to. I had no idea what to do, and they all just. You've got to believe me. I had no idea this would happen. That son of a bitch, he was going to. I saw to. Don't you fucking get it? I was so caught up in this guy's bullshit that I travelled with him a few weeks ago. I know what he does. Damn. I wish I'd just listened to what my mother said. I wouldn't be in this fucking mess. I know. They call him. I know that he lives in. Did you get all of that? Good. Now let me go. Let us kill them all. That was Mysterious Audio Tape. Links to the story can be found in the description down below. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell to ensure that you don't miss out on me performing more creepypastas and other horror stories. Why not leave me a comment and let me know what story you would like me to cover next? If you prefer to listen to these stories on the move, in the car, at the gym, or when you're about to sleep, you can check out the audio podcast version of Storytime with Grax on all the major podcasting platforms including Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes, and more. I post these videos out every week for free and I love doing so. But for those who would like to support my work, I really do appreciate it. Details on how to support me, including my Patreon account, can be found in the description down below. All these details, including where to find me on social media, can be found in the description down below. Thanks again for watching, and pleasant dreams.